Good morning, everyone, or almost afternoon. It is currently 11 o'clock on this wonderful Saturday morning. Hopefully, everyone is having a great morning so far. This is another episode of the KBR Show with yours truly, King Buddy Ray. Thank you for tuning in again. And so we're going to start off with today's show with talking about the NBA. I finally got to watch an NBA game live last night, so had a little bit of a busy week. Was at the ball field 3 of the nights. So last night was actually able to watch the Knicks-Wolves game, or Knicks-Wolves, wow, Zach. Knicks-Pacers game live, so that was fun. But we're going to start with that game, the Knicks and Pacers. It was a very interesting game. It was very good. It was very different from game one, to be honest with you. So, it was very different from game one. Game one was very fast-paced. It was 135, 138 there. And the final score of this game, my notes are going all fuzzy on me down here. The final score of this game was 114-109. So, a little bit of a slower pace, which plays in favor of the Knicks. But the Pacers prevailed. Mr. Clutch Halliburton was key late in the game. He had 11 assists with 8 boards. Only 14 points, only 2 total points in the first half. But he had 11 key assists, and like 5 of them late. 8 boards. Played pretty good on defense. They were taking advantage of either two things on the offense end. They were taking advantage on Brunson on the pick and rolls. They were switching everything. Or if Cat was in the game, they were taking advantage of him because they were either playing drop coverage and getting taken advantage of, or he was switching and he can't stay in front of anybody. So, Cat actually sat out the majority of the fourth quarter. He sat out for like the first 10 minutes until they played Hack-a-Mitch, and then they put Mitchell Robinson on the bench. They did one time, and then they put Mitchell on the bench and brought Cat back in. Because Mitchell, as everyone knows, is the Energizer Bunny. His plus-minus for the game was plus 18. So, he's the Energizer Bunny. In the first half, it was big because they were down 8 in the first half to the Pacers. Mitchell Robinson comes in. They go on a 10-0 run. Mr. Energy. The place goes nuts when he comes in there. They cheer and cheer, especially when he makes a 3-3. They're like, yeah! They go absolutely bananas for that, man. So, good job on Tibbs there. But the Pacers come back with Tony Bradley, UNC grad, my Tar Heels, baby. So, UNC grad, they come back with Tony Bradley, and Tony Bradley was able to stop him more than Thomas Bryant and Miles Turner were. So, good coaching by Carlisle there. Good job there for the Pacers. Overall, it was a back-and-forth game. Both teams had 11 turnovers through 3 quarters. The Knicks turned the ball a little bit more over in the fourth quarter, which ended up being key as well. But the biggest takeaway was Pascal Siakam. He had 39 total points. He had 23 points in the first half, and he had a total of 17 points. The game won, so that was key. He had 39 points on 15 of 23 shooting with 5 boards and 3 assists, and he did really good keeping Anunoby on ropes a little bit. So not having that third or fourth option for the Knicks. So good job to Pascal. Smith, he didn't really do much. He guarded Brunson, obviously. But he was 2 or 3 from 3. He had 12 points, not near as big as a game, but big on the defensive end there. As I said before, Halliburton had 14 points on 8 boards with 11 assists. The Knicks scoring lines, Bridges, he was slow in the first 3 quarters, but he ended up with 20 on 9 of 18. Cat had 20 points on 6 of 14. Brunson, he had 36, but he was 13 of 27, so not as efficient there. So, are the Knicks going to get swept? That's the real question here. Are the Knicks going to get swept? Going down 2-0 is hard, especially going down 2-0, going into Indy. And there's going to be a crowd in Indianapolis this weekend. It's Memorial Day weekend. The Indianapolis 500 is there. Shout out Fred Hill for going to that for, 50 plus years now? Shout out there. And so there's going to be a crowd in Indiana. But in the Knicks' defense, they are 5-2 on the road in the playoffs this season. So maybe, I don't know. The Knicks better win game 3 or they are getting swept. It's must win if you don't want to get swept. It's a must win, period, for you Knicks fans. Stephen A. has been silent. he's probably not too happy that the Knicks are down 2-0. 76-6 record, so it is doable. It's not like 76-0 or 76-1. It is 76-6 record when the team goes up 2-0, but it is big because they're going up 2-0 going in to Allen Fieldhouse. So, Pacers, can you keep them in check game 3 and win game 3? My pick for game 3, I think the Knicks are going to get it done. I think they're going to come in and get it done. They have to keep it slow paced. They had a much better chance last night of winning, keeping it slow paced. I think they've got to do that again. If they go back to a run and gun game like they did in game 1, I think they get blown out of the gym. They've got to keep it slow, not turn the ball over, make shots, get to the foul line so the Pacers can't get out on a run on a defensive rebound and go. They've got to attack the basket. No stupid plays. No stupid plays, and I think the Knicks can win game 3. I've been wrong on all 4 of my picks so far. So, I picked the Thunder, the Wolves to win game 1, the Wolves to win game 2. They didn't win. I picked the Knicks game 1, and then after game 1, I still picked them in game 2. So, I'm looking real bad right now. So, hopefully the pick of the Knicks goes on to, hopefully, helps me out there. So, but so far, the Pacers are Mr. Clutch, not Mr. Brunson. The Pacers are 7-0 in clutch game in the playoffs so far. Mr. Brunson won it during the regular season as the most clutch player, but right now it's the Pacers. So Brunson, you going to show up late in the clutch? You were 1 of 3 in the last minute last night with 1 air ball. Bad air ball, too. So, Brunson, are you going to show up tonight? Or not tonight. Are you going to show up tomorrow night? You going to show up, Brunson? Who knows? I've got the Knicks winning game 3. But if I had to change my pick now, knowing I think the Pacers are going to win in 6, now I think the Knicks will win game 2. Knicks will win game 3. The Pacers will win game 4, go back to New York up 3-1. You're not getting out of New York winning game 5 when they're down 3-1. I think they'll win that, but I think the Pacers will end up winning game 6. So I'm going to switch my pick here. Hopefully this helps me. Or if you're a Knicks fan, hopefully it helps you because my picks have been astronomically wrong so far. So hopefully for you Knicks fans, maybe it's Knicks in 7. But I've got the Pacers in 6 as switch now. So now we're going to switch over to the other series, the Thunder. The Thunder are now up 2-0 on the Minnesota Timberwolves with game 3 tonight in Minnesota. Ant-Man, you showed up in game 2. But it was SGA's night. He got the MVP trophy early. I didn't think he deserved it, but hey, congrats to you, SGA. He got it. So, and he bought everyone on his team Rolexes and iPhones. He spent a bag on his whole team because it's honestly it's a team award. Yeah, it's most valuable player, but if your team's not winning, your team's not producing wins, and it's a team sport, your team helps you, you help them. I respect it, SGA. Mad respect to you there. So awesome job there. And it remained SGA's night. SGA was so efficient in the game. It was so good for him there. He had 38 points on a 12 of 21 night. 13 of 15 from the line with 8 assists and 3 steals. He's been a little questioned about his defense, but so far in the series, his defense has showed up. SGA had 38 points. OKC forced 14 turnovers. And even more than the 14 turnovers, they had a lot of tip balls that Minnesota really couldn't get their offense going. They could not get an offensive rhythm. Jalen Williams had 26 on 12 of 20. Chet was also big. He was 8 of 17 for 22 points. That Thunder ended up winning the game 118-103. Another double-digit win for the Thunder. But it was close to about the fourth quarter, and then the Thunder went on that little Thunderbolt run, as they like to call it. They went on that little run and got ahead, took the lead all the way up to 24, and it never went back below 9 for the game. So congrats to the Thunder. Mr. Randall, you showed up in game 1, had 28 points. Where were you? Where were you on Thursday night? Where were you? You did not show up. You had 6 points total, only 2 points in the first half on 2 of 11 shooting, and 4 turnovers. And Finch was like, enough of this. I'm putting your butt on the bench. You sat the whole fourth quarter. So what happened? The Wolves are going home, though. So they have better luck than the Knicks, hopefully. They're going home. Hopefully they can produce. The bench produced for Minnesota. The bench produced. Conley and Gobert only had 8 points apiece between them, but the bench was actually able to help out a little bit. Had 35 points on 13 of 24, and that's with Dante DiVincenzo, Naz Reid, and Nikhil Alexander-Walker, SGA's cousin. And they actually outscored the Oklahoma City bench by 18. It's just the Oklahoma City starters were so efficient. That was the biggest difference in this game. Edwards showed up, but he was only 1 of 9 from deep, and he had the most threes in the regular season this season. He had more than Steph Curry, the best shooter on the earth, and no one's ever going to touch that man. He went 1 of 9 from deep, so that was a big thing. Edwards did much better. Let me get his final stat line for us. Let me pull that up real quick. He ended up having, what did he have? He had 32 points on 12 of 26 with only 1 of 9 from 3, like I said, with 9 boards and 6 assists. So he did do better, but he didn't have help from Randall. Gobert didn't really do anything. Conley didn't do anything. McDaniels did have 22 points, 8 of 15, so good job there. Even with guarding SGA, obviously. He didn't do much of a good job guarding him. But he did have some help. But Chris Finch has some things to think about. Does he sit Gobert and play Naz Reid? They were talking about it during the game. Jefferson and Van Gundy and Doris Burke were talking about it during the game. Do they sit Gobert? Yeah, Gobert went off against the Lakers in round 1 and against the Warriors in round 2, but look at the size difference here. In round 1, he had to go against Rory Hachimura because J.J. Redick didn't play Jackson Hayes. In round 2, he had to go up against Trace Jackson Davis. Von Looney didn't really show up, didn't really play that much, so he didn't have much competition. Now he's getting competition. He's having to play against Harkenstein. He's having to play against Chet. Yeah, Chet's skinny, but he's still a big body. He's still tall. He's tough to get around. So, what does Gobert do? For Game 3, the biggest thing that has to happen, in my opinion, is the Wolves have to come out of the second half fast. That's been the biggest difference in this series. And SGA admitted to it post-game after Game 2. He said the difference in this series compared to the first round against the Grizzlies and the second round was they came out of the third quarter hot so far in this series, and it's paid dividends. They didn't do that against Denver. They didn't do that against the Grizz. Yeah, they beat the Grizzlies in 4 and they beat Denver in 7. But they didn't do that, and that's the biggest difference according to SGA. So obviously he knows what he's talking about. He's on the team. He's a player. So that's the biggest difference. So the Wolves better compete coming out into the third quarter. Ant-Man, you need some help. You got to talk to Mr. Randall. We need to see Game 1, Mr. Randall, not Game 2, Mr. Randall. Or the Wolves are in trouble. Maybe get swept. I think the Knicks have a better possibility of getting swept, but the Wolves, I think just like the Knicks are going to win Game 3 Sunday, I think the Wolves are going to win Game 3 tonight, make the series 2-1 going into Monday night's game, Game 4, which would be very pivotal. Very pivotal there. So, I think the Wolves are going to turn it around, hopefully. So, I've been wrong with all 4 picks so far, so if you want to listen to my advice, take it. If not, pick your own. Let me know down in the comments who you guys have winning Game 3 for both series. Let me know what you guys think there. So, to some local stuff here. We are going to look at some local stuff. We had TA Baseball won 13-0 against Rocktown High School on Thursday. The softball team won 15-0, extending their win streak to 11 games. TA finally got on the win streak board there. They played Rockbridge last night. I did not see a score, so normally anyone that follows TA Sports knows if you don't see a score on their Instagram or on Facebook, that means they lost. So maybe they lost a lot. Rockbridge last night, I'm not sure. Playoffs for all high school sports in the area start next week. And now to the RCBL, the Clover Hill Bucks versus the Bridgewater Reds. A big matchup everyone was looking forward to. Of course, I was looking forward to it because I am a Buck fan. I am the voice of the Bucks. And it lived up to the hype if you're a Bucks fan. But if you're a Reds fan, not so much. Game started. Thank you, Harrisburg Truck Service, for letting all attendants in for free. We saluted the veterans. Mr. Pete Johnson saying God bless America and the national anthem for us. Always wonderful hearing his voice. He does a wonderful job. And the Reds come out and hit a home run in the first. We get the first 2 outs in the top of the first, but then the Bucks allow a home run to deep center field for Corbin Lucas. But that's it. That's all that happened there. That was one hit of the 3 hits they had all game. The other 2 hits were by their second baseman, Jordan Yankee. So, Reds only 3 hits, 1 run, and they also had an error. The Bucks took the lead in the bottom of the second with 3 singles, 1 from Shiflett, 1 from Sumter, and 1 from TJ Johnson, scoring 2 runs there. So great job to the Bucks overall. Thank you to all the fans that showed out for both Bridgewater and Clover Hill. It was a very good attendance for the first game and very cold. I had 2 hoodies on and 2 pairs of sweatpants, and I was still freezing up there, and I'm in an insulated box. During the summer, I keep the door open, but I can close it. I can close it in, and I have insulation in there, and I was still freezing my tush off. But the highlights of the game, the Bucks pitching staff, man. Jaden Isidro started the game with 3 innings. And then Clay Geyer comes in, 2 innings. Sam Imerson comes in, 2 innings. Grant Thomas comes in, 2 innings. Isidro started well, gave up the home run, then settled in, did fine. All 4 pitchers did great. They had 10 total strikeouts, with 5 of them being from Grant Thomas, who pitched the final 2 innings. He struck out 5 batters in a row to start his night. So he faced 7 total batters there. So he struck out 5 of the 7 batters that or my apologies, 5 of the 6 batters that he faced. He pitched 2 innings, obviously. Or no, it was 5-7 because he allowed a walk. So he struck out 5 of the 7 batters that he faced. The Bucks hitting was hot. They had 10 runs on 9 hits and no errors from the Bucks. Mr. Luke Shiflett was 3 for 5 with 2 singles and a double. Very key early on there. Got the hits rolling. TJ Johnson was 2 for 3 with 2 singles. The shortstop, Isaac Sumter, was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a double. Probably would have been a triple. I ruled it as a double because he rounds first base, runs into Malachi Simmons. The ump ends up calling obstruction on Malachi. I didn't see it. I was looking down to start writing stuff down, so I didn't see it. But I talked to a couple of the guys after the game. It was clearly an obstruction, they said. So, good thing it was, because Isaac was on his horse. I looked back up, and he was rounding second base so far, going to third, and he would have been hosed if it wasn't for the obstruction call. So, I put it down as a double with an obstruction. Some would put it down as a triple, but he was key there. Good thing, the obstruction there. That was a big inning in the 5th. A big inning for the 5th. For the Bucks. We ended up going up 9-1 in the 5th and didn't look back. We won the game overall 10-1. Other RCBL notes: Broadway started off the season hot. They beat Montezuma 15-1 and then turned around last night and beat Draft 16-4. The stat says in progress it was 16-4 for a little bit, so I assume it either ended 16-4 or the score went on. I'm not sure about that. It wasn't a 1-point streak, but I assume the game ended at 16-4 there. Also, last night, the Reds got the bats going. They beat Montezuma last night 17-13. The Cardinals on Thursday night beat the Elkton Blue Sox 13-3. So RCBL action tonight. You've got Stuart Straff going to the Elkton Blue Sox in Elkton, and you got Massanutten Mountaineers traveling to Grottoes to face the Cardinals. And then on Sunday, you have Elkton going to Broadway to play the Bruins. And then you have the Clover Hill Bucks going back to Bridgewater to face the Reds. Huffman did not pitch in Game 1. Huffman did not pitch in game 2. Neither did Shiflett in game 1 or 2. He wasn't at game 1. I wasn't sure if he was at game 2. I wasn't there. But Huffman and Shiflett didn't pitch game 1 or game 2. So the pitchers for game 1 was Joe Christopher and Jerry Peak. So I would assume we're going to see Huffman and or Shiflett pitching for the Bucks. I have no idea. So we'll find out. Should be an interesting game. And that is at 6:30 at Sam Ritchie Field at TA's baseball field behind John Whalen off of 42. So it should be a very fun Sunday evening. I will be there and cheering on the Bucks from the stands. So I get a little break. Don't have to play music, talk. So it's nice. I like going. So Clover Hill at Bridgewater tomorrow night, Sunday at 6:30. Now we are going to transition to Major League Baseball. The biggest news in Major League Baseball, Robert Acuna Jr. is back, ladies and gentlemen. After a year off from ACL surgery, he is back, and he started with a bang. Let me tell you, he started with a bang. First pitch, dinger. First pitch, dinger. Can he keep it up? Can he help the Braves move into first place in the NL East and win the NL East against the very talented Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets? We'll see here. The Orioles finally won a game. They've lost 9 out of the last 10 with a 8-game losing streak, but they got destroyed last night by Boston, or yesterday afternoon. It was a makeup from Thursday, 19-14, and then their next game got postponed due to rain. My Yankees, they won 4 straight, beating the Mets on Sunday and then sweeping the Rangers. But they lost last night to the Rockies. 2-1. We lost to the Rockies, giving the Rockies the 9th win. The Rockies haven't won a series all season. Hopefully my Yankees don't change that. I'm hoping for the best. I think we got good chances there. So the Rockies are on pace to lose more games. I think it was 126. And that was more than anyone ever has. And then they win last night, which was crazy. So hopefully my Yankees step it back up tonight and get it done. So looking forward to baseball tonight. The Yankees play against the Rockies at 7, I think, or 8. Or no, it's 4:10 Eastern time. The Orioles will play here in about an hour and a half on for game 1. And then the Mets. The Mets have a series against the Dodgers. They are on ESPN on Sunday. Soto better step up. He hasn't been doing too hot for the Mets. Let's look at his stat line. I saw it the other night and I was very, very shocked at what it was. I just don't remember what it was. So let me pull this up really quick. But he has not been off to a good start at all. The Dodgers ended up winning last night in 13 innings while I'm looking this up. 1 in 13 innings, 7-2-5, and it looks like Teoscar Hernandez hit a go-ahead RBI double to send them in to win 7-5. So good job there. Let's look at Soto's stat line here. He's batting .236, which is tied for 117th in the league. He only has 8 home runs, 21 RBIs, and an OPS of 787. All low numbers for him. So you went and got your bag. Now let's produce, Juan Soto. So he better produce. We're going to switch it over to hockey, touch up on some hockey a little bit. The Panthers won back-to-back games, are up 2-0 on the Hurricanes. They scored 5 in each, and then they play tonight in Game 3. The Oilers, last night Connor McDavid and the team showed up, won 3-0, tying the series there, and then they play tomorrow for Game 3. But some big sports breaking news here. Some big sports breaking news in some other sports here. In the NFL, the tush push. You may love it. You may hate it. But you can't stop it if you're playing the Eagles. If other teams try it, you may be able to stop it. But if you're playing the Eagles, good luck. Jalen Hurts, he can squat, 650 pounds? He's got a big O-line. He's got Saquon Barkley, who can also squat 600 pounds, pushing him. Some people don't like it because it used to be illegal to push. I personally like it. It's fun to watch. Injuries. Okay, yeah, you can get injured in any play in football or any play in any sport. Let it happen. But the funniest thing was, it was the Packers that tried to get it banned because the Eagles used it a lot last year on the Packers. The funniest thing is they needed 24 votes to ban it, and they only got 22. And the vote was 22-10, which is really funny because the Eagles beat the Packers last year 22-10. And the Eagles social media team, shout out to you guys, man. You guys put push on with a picture of you guys doing the tush push against the Eagles on your social medias. That was great. Other news in the NFL, the Steelers, my beloved Steelers, are still waiting for Aaron Rodgers. You ask me, why? Why? We got Mason Rudolph. We got Will Howard from Ohio State in the draft. Let's just trust one of them. They can't do much worse than what Russell Wilson did in the second half of last season. Now he's a Giant. Justin Fields was my guy. I thought we should have went with him, but he's with the Jets now. Why do we want Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, he won a Super Bowl. Yeah, he's won MVPs. But he's old. And it's what? Almost June now, and he hasn't said a word? Yeah, he's normally quiet in the offseason. Yeah, he said on the Pat McAfee show that he was going through some personal things, but make a decision, Aaron Rodgers. We're tired of waiting. I'm okay with going for him for a year or two. I'm not the biggest fan of him right now. Yeah, he's good, but he's old. So, Steelers fans, should we go with him? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think there. And other big breaking news in college football. As everyone knows, last year it went to a 12-team playoff for the first time. I love the format. I didn't like the format of if you won your conference, you got to bye. If you won the Big 12, the SEC, Big 10. I didn't like that. Now it's the top 12 teams, top 4 teams get a bye. So good job to the college football committee there. Very good. Yeah, it hurts your mid-majors a little bit, but not a mid-major really made it last year. So should be interesting there. The top 4 teams still get a bye, so that is big. So to recap on these sports overall for a little bit, you got Wolves hosting the Thunder tonight in Game 3. You got the Knicks traveling to the busy city of Indianapolis, Indiana tomorrow. Game 3 there. Both series are 2-0 in favor of the Thunder and in favor of the Pacers. I personally have the Knicks winning Game 3, and I have the Wolves winning Game 2. But I've been wrong on the first 4 games so far, so believe what you want, but that's what I'm saying. I'm trusting my gut, but this is why I'm also not a professional, and even the professionals get it wrong, so take that how you want it. Your positive thought for the day: keep showing up. Always show up. Do what you want to do. Strive for greatness. If no one invests in you, invest in yourself. If no one believes in you, believe in yourself. You may fail at first, but get up and keep going. Get up and keep going. And that is thank you to Fearless Motivational Podcast that I listen to on a daily. So thank you for the motivation there. Again, keep showing up. Invest in yourself. Do not quit. Keep going. Keep showing up. And at the end of the day, you will get the results you want. You may not see the results right away, but keep showing up. Never, ever quit. Winners never quit. And quitters never win. Remember that. So, to end the show today, I was very sad yesterday. I watched it. Around the Horn, my second favorite show behind Mike and Mike. Shout out to the Mike and Mike show as well. Around the Horn ended yesterday with a total of 4,953 episodes in a 23-year span. Mr. Woody Page was the most wins on that show with 687. My personal favorite caster they had on that show, other than Tony Reale, who hosted the show. But that was my show as a kid. I'd get home from school, look in the fridge, see if there was any leftover food, heat it up in the microwave if there was. But if there wasn't, go to the freezer, get some pizza rolls, heat them up in the oven, and go to town on those things while I watch PTI, followed by Around the Horn. So, shout out to the guys there. So, thank you to everyone at PTI. So I appreciated the show. It was my second favorite as a kid and as an adult now. ESPN better step up and put a good show in the 5 p.m. Eastern time zone slot. Fast forward to on TV right now, it's just SportsCenter. So hopefully they put a good show, come up with a new one maybe. Who knows? Maybe the KBR show hits big one day and hits the 5 p.m. slot. Probably not, but hey, one can wish, right? Don't give up, right? But hopefully either extend the PTI show and make that an hour, put in a good show. I've heard rumors of Stephen A. Smith maybe starting a show. I don't know how true that is. I've seen rumors of that, but there's no official 5 p.m. slot, so let's see what ESPN does there. But in honor of the PTI show, everyone knows it ends with a paper toss, and I forgot to put a piece of paper next to me, so we're just going to use these caramel candies that were on my desk. So in honor of PTI, this is for you. And again, thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode on this wonderful Saturday morning of the KBR show. Make sure you like this post, comment different things on this post, subscribe as well. So I appreciate everyone that's tuned in so far, giving me some positivity, saying you like it, saying the content's good. Love y'all. Much love to y'all. But I'm going to sign off, and as always, go Bucks. See you next time.